morning, guess who's calling me at 6 in the morning, waking me up? I'm a 9:30 guy, you know, he's waking me up at 6 in the morning. That's not true, I don't sleep at 9:30, but I said, what's up, Chuck? I said, Mr. Plane, you need a ride? What's up? He says, I need to talk with you now. I said, all right. What did I do? He said, I'll tell you when in person, let's meet for breakfast. So I met him for breakfast. He was so excited. Will you kind of read over here what some of his returns were on each of them? That's fine. Is this okay?
So,
This is a real life account of just one fund, one investor.
profits. You want to read the profit?
He's interested in, you know,
Well, the return for the first one was 27%, the second one was 29%, the third one was 51%, the fourth 56%, 15%, 39%, 18%, 28%, 40%, 34%, 71%, 47%, 39%, 37%, 47%, 37%, 39%, 33%, 43%, 20%, 58%, 20%, 22%, 32%. Okay, hold on to your seat. 113%.
that's got to be a mistake. Here, scribble that one out for me.
Okay, 360%. Let me scribble that one out too. Okay.
We don't want to mess with his ROI.
16%, 33%, 35%.
Let me sort of math.
No. Okay, 61%, 87%, 25%, 42, let me go back, 87%, okay, 25%, 42%, 27%, 27%, 33%, 23%, okay, and final, 28%.
Not bad, eh? So, let me tell you a little something about this list. The first pool I sold Chuck Bates was, and you can talk to Chuck, I'll give you his phone number, you call him and ask him your own questions if you like. Chuck is, I sold him a list from Moneyline Mortgage, the whole thing. It was 34 homes, 32 homes, one of those. And I bought one too at the same time. I said, you ought to buy this, I'm buying this one, you can have this one. So it turned out, this is the truth, it turned out it was the worst pool I ever bought, ever, in 10 years. It was tragic. I personally, it was new, Moneyline Mortgage was new to me, so I got in the car with my lovely wife and we went to when I get a new source, I like to vet it, so after we spent the money, of course, bought the house, but I go to these properties and I'm signing them and they're all over the place. It was fraudulent, really. It was, I mean, I went to houses, one in Texas, the house, the only thing holding the roof up was the mesquite tree in the middle. And it was, but the property was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 acres of, I mean, the value was there. So, a great area, great market, great value, just land only. So, cha-ching, it worked out. And it happened across the country. So, when he did the math on that pool alone by itself, it averaged 38%. He was sold. I mean, he's got 4 properties in this that are vacant. Is that 4? At the bottom it says what he has left that we haven't sold yet out of his entire portfolio. Mm-hmm. 4 properties. And how much is he making? What's his residual income? What's his residual income? No, the whole, what is his income? 100 and... How many could handle that? 11, just under $12,000 a month off your IRA. Okay, that was 2 years. Of course, that day he said, how much money do you need to dominate this market? And Chuck, who I was just sure had spent about all he had, turns out to be a multi-millionaire. And now my partner. I think that's a pretty good story. And what's even better, it's true. So, you know, the thing about Chuck that made me want to work with Chuck in a different way was Chuck understood it. He did just like I did. He mailed a check in, he bought the properties, he gave the properties back to us, put them in buy here, pay your homes, and we marketed those properties, some for cash, some for I mean, a big portion of his return isn't showed there because I just wanted the CFD. But the truth is about 26% of his investment came back in the form of cash deals. So now he's rolling that. So pretty awesome. So the worst pool ever, 38% cash on cash annualized rate on his return. I think that's pretty doggone good. So he left the properties to us to market and sell. He said, Kent, if your team can just make sure I get at least 15% rate on my return, don't even call me to approve the deal. Just do it. If you get me, like Kent says, twice what I paid for cash, I don't even want to know about it. Just deposit that check in my mailbox. And I think that's a pretty good philosophy because that's what's got us where we are today. I don't care if it's a lot in Detroit or a mansion, you know, in the mountains, because we get it all. You know, I like Forrest Gump, but I like his statement about life is like a box of chocolates. That's kind of like our business in buying. You never know what you're going to get, but you're always going to get something really good. Someone asked earlier about our bidding process. We bid so low that we know that price, no matter what it is, no matter the condition of that house or where it is or what it is, we know price cures all. Roger's talked about that this morning already. So we buy so low that we can take anything they give us. And we buy percentage-wise. So we know if we buy 100 homes, we might have 10% that really, really, really suck. But we're going to buy 10% to 15% that really, 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 really does well. And how many good properties does it take to overcome bad properties at what we pay for them? By the way, his average was, I think, if, don't quote me, I might pass this around later. You can actually look at these. These are real. I think he's somewhere about, I think we figured up back there $10,700 and some change per asset. So how many homes does it take to really do well, to overcome the really bad? That's really true. Just bought one last month. It's still available, by the way. It's not been sold, although there's it probably will be sold today, I'm sure. It's a duplex. We bought it from the auction company, full closing. I think actually we're actually doing the full closing this coming week because it took forever to get through the title closing, which is kind of unique because normally they're quick claim deeds and just down and dirty. This was a full closing. It's in Bradenton, Florida. It's a duplex. After I called the realtor up and said, hey, I'm going to send a gentleman by to just look at the property, tell me what he thinks I need to do to rehab it and flip it. Are you interested in representing the property for us if we do that? He said, I am absolutely. He said, you got a steal here. Did you pay what I think you paid for it? I said, well, I think we did. And he said, well, guess what? You know, this building's in pretty good shape. It's already been rehabbed. All you got to do is basically do some finishes. Really? Yeah. And he said, and the lot's up for sale behind it. You could probably pick it up for like $3 to $5 grand. And it's literally a mirror property that the Pirates practicing during their winter practices or whatever are using that for parking and they're paying this guy a premium. I can pick that up for about $3 to $5 grand for you. And that'll help you because the house next door that you bought, the greenhouse, you know the greenhouse next to the yellow duplex? I said, uh-huh. He said, you know what I'm talking about, right? I said, not exactly. I bought a duplex. Are you telling me I bought more than a duplex? And he said, oh yeah, you got another duplex that the city made it turn into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house because there wasn't enough parking to keep 2 duplexes side by side. Man, as he's talking, I'm looking it up. Sure enough, we bought 2 duplexes for the price that we got. I won't tell you because somebody will buy that and we're going to make a little profit on you. At least $2,500 buyer's premium. So anyway, those are the nuggets. You never know what you're going to get, right? Worst case scenario. I bought a house this month. I bought it for $280 in Detroit. And the front of the house looked gorgeous. And it was in a nice street, nice people fighting to reclaim that. Only problem is when our team went to the property, the whole back was gone. It's like a movie set in Hollywood, you know. So we got this beautiful front, you know, image, and then there's absolutely nothing behind it. The good news is they carted off all the stuff that we would have to pay to cart off, and now we have this beautiful facade, you know. Maybe we'll do a taping there. I mean, it's a gorgeous house, gorgeous. We'll sell it to you, make you a good deal. The good news is while they were there, they sold the property. We haven't got the deed yet, but we sold the property to the next door neighbor who said, I want that. I want to expand my property line. And guess what? He's going to pay for it. He could never get hold of the lender, the banker, or the servicer. Could never get him to take his call, never get him to respond to him. Finally talked to the realtor who said, I just put the sign up and list it. Because that's how the auction company, it's the only way they can auction houses. They have to have a realtor to do that. So I said, well, why don't you just at least, I'll pay you to make my offer to the lender. He goes, you don't understand. I got that off of Equator, and I got it on an automated message. I have no one to talk to. I can't even submit your offer. They're not even accepting offers. You got a bid. Well, the bid's over. Well, hello. And then we show up to our halfway house and sell the thing for $6,000 to them. And you know, it's a good deal for them. And it's something, so there's value there. We brought value to them. So anyway, I think I've talked enough. This is my story. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited about what we're doing with Roger. He's kind of created some problems for us. We're actually having to hire people to help us to talk to you because we don't usually talk to you. We've never known you till now. So we've had brought some wonderful staff on to take you from acquisition to contract, work with you to call you in 24 to 48 hours instead of you chasing us for a couple of weeks and shaking your fist at us saying, why won't anybody give me any love? What is not broken is houses are being sold before we can even identify. We just sold you at the RIA this weekend. True story. There are people here in this room today that bought houses. They were sold before they even got their contract signed and already producing income to them. And there are others that are still waiting to find out what happened. What did I buy? Just like me. The good news is, hopefully today, if you need some time with us, sit down and look at it and see if we can give you some direction. And who knows, maybe we sold your house already. So, any questions? All right. A lot of the questions about the bidding platform. We can allow you to bid on other platforms. The reason why we've chosen Aquin is because they allow us permission to allow you to go in with it, not being a realtor, which is rare. So we give you the lockbox combo. You can go in there, and if you find a property you want to bid on that's in your area and you like it, you know, submit it to us so we can help you get a good bid on it, a winnable bid. You can tell us what the condition is, because that's something we don't know. Put those two together and we can be effective in helping you because your book's on the ground. And in that event we may break our rule of bidding just solo because we bid blind. If you buy one, we say buy one, you're done. In other words, we can't represent you in our buy here, pay here program unless you're buying 4 or 5 properties at a time or $50,000 and up, simply because we have to be able to service you as a client, and we just don't want to. We are not equipped to deal with 400 new faces, one property each. It would bury us and we couldn't do our job. So that's one of the practical aspects. So buy one, you're done. If you buy 4 or more, or 50,000 or more, we're happy to work with you. We also are going to give you a list today where we will finance properties that you might see in our inventory. I think we have 120 properties we just purchased, and we're going to make those available to you as well. And if you want us, we can, for a low down payment, fund you while you put your money into the property or whatever. And we can also sell those one-offs for cash, or we can put pools together for you. I think Garland has prepared. Roger, did we prepare pools with income-producing assets already structured in the deal?
Yes.
So one of the things we're doing to help jumpstart people is to put a say roughly around $50,000 pool together. Usually that would be 3 properties, maybe a 4th property, depending on what the property is. We might throw a lot in there as a fourth or fifth property. But what we do there is we take an income-producing property, the property we own or find, bought, sold while it's in our hands, and basically put family into that property. They're making monthly payments now. So we would basically put that in the pool with 2 vacant properties. So the very first month, you're getting the income. And it could be anywhere from a couple $100 to $1,000, just depending on the asset. So
you guys understand that? That one of the advantages of investing in a pool is we're creating $50,000 pools, and in that pool, because if they're all vacant properties, if it takes us 90 to 120 days to find a buyer for you, so that means you're not making any money until all 3 or 2 or 4 or however many pools are in there for income. What we've done is, because we do this, we have taken from our inventory, we call it IPP, income producing properties. So for every pool, we're putting 1 income producing property that's already generating 15 ROIs, at least 50 to 25%. So that day 1, you invest today, your money is already coming. And we look at your portfolio. The reason at the end of the year, don't get micromanaged. Let us do what we do well, and there will be problems, bumps along the way, but we know how to deal with it.